Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're into the last week of October here. Been a pretty good season. Lots of activity. April's not quite holding up her end of the bargain of things, but all in all, we've had a pretty good season. Got lots of deer on camera. Not many of them are cooperating. I got one deer in particular that's just showed up here recently. I think might be interested in cooperating for us. He's been rather photogenic the last couple of days. So I boogied out of work just a little bit early and gonna hit the tree stand this evening. Fair skies, bluebird day. Temperature has dropped. We had a little bit of rain the last 24 hours. It's mid-60s. It has been running mid-70s. So this is exactly what I like. I like the back end of these fronts. A lot of people like the front end of them, as the storm is moving in. I like the back end of them, especially when the temperatures drop. If that weather can suppress their appetite or suppress their ability to fill their appetite, I guess I should say. If they miss a meal or two, I typically have pretty good luck. So fingers crossed. We got a little bit of work to do. Got to change some batteries out on a couple different cameras before I hit the stand, but nonetheless we'll be pretty well good to go once we get in there. It's about 2:20 now. We're still on daylight savings time, so we're looking getting dark about 7:15, give or take just a little bit. So it's not going to be an incredibly long sit in the stand this evening, but we'll give ourselves 2 or 3 hours to get in there and try to make hay while the sun shines. So stand by. We've got just a little bit of work to do, and we'll be in the stand here shortly.
Something happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether the arrow planed on me or what, but I didn't hit nothing. No twigs or sticks or anything. I mean, it felt good. But man, something went bad, wrong. I'm gonna have to replay the footage and look, but it's bad. Daggone. He come in and was facing me forever. I like never got him to turn. That other little buck come in behind him there and got his attention. I think that's what got him to turn. But I can't explain it. Felt good. I don't know.
Go ahead.
What are you doing?
Oh, in the truck driving.
Driving. Well, good. That's exactly what I need. What's the chances of you driving to Jackson County?
100%. Why? What's up?
Oh, I just stuck that big 8, and I got a terrible hit on him, Jeremy. I mean, a terrible hit. I tried calling Fisher, and he's not answering. I'm almost certain I dead centered that back ham.
You probably hit the artery.
But that's the only thing I could hope for at this point, because I looked at the footage. It's terrible. I mean, I flat 10 ring dead center that back ham. He run off for like 40 yards. I could see him, and he stopped. So I mean, that's a pretty encouraging sign. But
he's dead within 30, 40 yards, and if he stopped.
Well, if I got that artery, my arrow looked funny. Something happened. I don't know whether my arrow planed or what, but something's not right. I have to go back and look again. But how far out are you to get up here?
Well, let me get off the phone, call Tasha. I'll see where she's at. She's getting off work right now, and I'll meet her and I'll drop the boys off.
Okay. All right, guys, we're 2 hours into it. Made a couple phone calls right out of the gate. Called Seth Fisher. He wasn't available. But fortunately for me, my old buddy Jeremy Johnson does not have to work tomorrow.
Nope.
So he made the trip up from Lincoln County, and we looked at the footage on the big screen at the house. And I'm kind of torn. To be honest with you, I'm kind of torn what we're looking at. But I'll let the expert here tell us what we're looking at. He's a bit more optimistic than I am.
I think that you've hit artery in the back legs. It was a bad shot, but I believe you hit a good place with a bad shot.
a good place and a bad spot.
Yeah.
We're in pretty good shape for the shape we're in.
And the other thing you got going for you is that you're shooting a Rage, which is going to give you a lot more cutting radius.
This was the Rage Extreme too. Not that it really matters between 2 and 2.5 inch cut, but yeah. I mean, I guess it does. When you're splitting hairs, you take every little bit we can get.
Yeah. I think that you've hit the artery for sure.
And we went back and looked too. That deer actually turned right the last second. Not to be making excuses.
Oh, just quit making excuses.
I'm making excuses, but I mean, clearly something happened. I don't know whether my bottom cam hit something or something is off on my bow. I had a broadhead open in flight. I don't know. Something just did not look right with the arrow. But nonetheless, I mean, he did turn at the last second, and maybe, I mean, just maybe, when it went in that back ham, the way he was turning, there's a chance it got up into a little bit of the guts. We're not talking like a ham-to-ham pin job or anything. It didn't pinwheel him.
I don't think it went up in the guts. I think it got ham, liver. I don't think it got up in the guts all the way.
Well, liver's in front of the guts. You got lungs, liver, then your guts.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd have got guts before it ever got liver.
Yeah, that's right.
Hypothetically.
I'm thinking wrong end.
Well, we're used to dealing with that front end.
Yeah. I don't think it got guts. I don't think it went that far. I don't think the angle's that much.
I mean, clearly we don't make a habit of shooting deer in the hams.
No.
But
it has happened.
It has happened, and you try to make the best of a bad situation.
But I honestly believe the deer's within 100 yards.
If we got that artery, it's usually an all or none thing. From what I've experienced, it's if you get that artery, like you said, 100 yards, they don't have a choice. They're going to bleed out.
Yeah.
But if you don't get that artery, they're going to run for a country mile.
Yep.
So I'm honest. I think I would tend to agree with you in that regard. It's going to be, if he's dead, he's within 100 yards.
I honestly think I think that artery's cut slap in half and he's pumped plumb dry.
I like the way you think. You're optimistic.
Yeah.
All right, we'll know here shortly.
Dad, right here. Right there. That blood right on the impact.
Are you sure you went this way?
Yeah. I could actually see him down there.
Oh.
I could actually see him from the stand.
Right here, right here.
Here you go, Jerry.
Where's that place you had blood? Oh, okay, yeah.
See there, that's...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He's opened up.
He's putting it out a little bit, but it's nothing right home.
If he's still bleeding, well, Dad, that air's still in him.
Huh?
That air was in for a while.
Yeah, that air's...
So, I mean, I could...
Huh? No way.
Huh.
And he's been dead a while.
Yeah, you got him right where you want him.
Oh yeah, right in the money spot.
That's a big old body deer too.
That's a bruiser.
Yeah. That hit. You didn't get gut. That's for sure.
Coming out right in front of it.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of back intestine. That's a pretty solid 8.
Oh, yeah. These rages ain't made for durability. They're one and done.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jeremy, I didn't waste your time on the drive up, anyways. You know, we was talking there in the truck. You know, these types of things are always a black and white scenario. You know, when you get that back hip, if you get that artery, they're 100 yards or less. This one went 80 yards tops. But if you don't get that artery, you're in for a long night, and usually you don't find them. And so
usually just a wounded deer that's going to end up getting killed by the coyotes.
That's exactly right, and that's kind of what we're facing. It was either going to be one or the other, a quick recovery or, you know, in for a long haul. And man, I'm telling you, I guess the way he turned it at that last second, this actually went up and got just a little bit of back of the intestines, because it looked like it was coming out on the opposite side of that hip, but just in front of it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we definitely got that artery on the entrance side, because it's bright, bubbly, oxygenated blood.
That's all you needed, just the one side.
Just the one. You called it.
Yeah.
You called it. But, you know, this is a solid deer. I mean, it's a really good deer.
It's got great mass.
He's got great mass. He carries it good from beginning to end.
Good brow length, good tooth length. Threes ain't bad.
And here's the thing, you know, we're in a part of West Virginia where we have a very high deer population. Jackson County's got one of the highest deer populations in the state. We're right along the Ohio River, and you're from West Hamlin, the southern part of West Virginia, Lincoln County, and they don't have near the deer population we have, but their quality is a whole lot better. And yeah, for where we're at, this is a solid deer. I mean, man, I'm tickled with it.
I can't get over the mass that's on that beam right here.
Mm-hmm. He carries it good.
Yeah.
He carries it good.
He carries enough mass, you know, if he had the frame, like he, you know, the 160-inch deer.
Yeah, he's got the frame for it. He obviously didn't finish out that way, but, you know, they always say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You don't have to practice luck.
No,
But you called it. You know, we sent about the footage back and forth, and we played it on the big screen, and he called it. He said, "Hey, you got that artery." So I still can't explain the shot. I can't.
I know something sounded off in the footage. Sounded like your string hit something. The cam was on something on the stand, but something wasn't right on that shot.
Oh, I can promise you something wasn't right. It was one of those things when I released, it felt good, but when the arrow was in flight, it just didn't look good. Something was off. So I don't know, but
end result, game over.
That's right. Tag number 2 is punched here in West Virginia. All right, get the drag. I'll meet you at the truck.
You'll be waiting a while.